In today's video, I'm talking all about macros for fat loss or body recomposition. First, I'm gonna briefly explain why macros matter for fat loss versus just calorie tracking. Then I'm gonna give you some macronutrient calculator tips. So not only how to calculate your macros for fat loss or body recomposition, but also how to personalize those macronutrient calculations just for you and where you're at on your journey. Then I'm gonna give you 5 things to look out for that it might be time to switch up your macros, as well as how to switch up your macros in each of those situations. And then I'm gonna give you 5 reasons it might not be time to switch up your macros and what you might need to focus on instead. So as always, I wanna get right into it, but of course, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get a notification when I release a new video just like this one every single week. My name is Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and fitness and fat loss motivation specialist. I have over 18 years experience in the industry helping people increase lean muscle and decrease body fat to become the strongest, leanest, healthiest versions of themselves. And I created this channel because I want to help you as well. So since this video, we're talking all about tracking macros for fat loss, let's just do a brief rundown of why macronutrients are so important in your fat loss journey versus just tracking calories only. Macronutrients matter for fat loss, meaning proteins, carbs, and fats, because they directly influence your body composition, your energy levels, your hunger, and the efficiency of your fat loss efforts. So what does that mean? 1, let's talk about the energy balance and fat loss. So calories in versus calories out. In the end, if you want to lose body fat and lose weight on the scale, you are going to need to eat in a calorie deficit. So calories in versus calories out will be the major key. So when looking at calories in versus calories out, yes, that is important, but I always say how you feel in this calorie deficit is determined by your macronutrient ratio. So the proportion of each macronutrient you consume determines how you feel as well as how you function in this calorie deficit. Another reason macronutrients are important is protein is the building block of muscle and also very important for muscle preservation. So if you are eating in a steep calorie deficit, your body risks losing muscle. Protein intake can help prevent this loss of muscle by providing your body with the amino acids it needs for muscle repair. Protein also has a higher thermic effect of food, meaning your body's gonna burn more calories digesting protein than carbs and fats. Carbohydrates are also important because they are gonna be the fuel for your workouts. Carbs are your body's preferred energy source. So you wanna make sure you're eating enough carbohydrates to fuel your body through your workouts as well as just fuel you through your entire day. But the more energy you have to push hard in your workouts, say in a strength training workout, you're able to lift more weight, which in turn, you will be able to build more muscle, and in turn, you'll be able to lose more body fat. And when your body has this carbohydrate intake for energy, your body is less likely to break down muscle tissue for energy. So that's our proteins, our carbs, and then fats are also important because they're essential for hormone health. So again, if your goal is fat loss, eating in a calorie deficit is going to be the most important, but the quality of those calories that you're eating will go a long way in not only your results, but also how you feel on your journey. Now let's talk about how to calculate your macros for fat loss or body recomposition. I'm just gonna give a brief overview for the sake of this video because I wanna focus more in this video on when and how to switch up your macros if what you are doing is not working. But if you want a more in-depth explanation as to how to calculate your macronutrients for your specific goal, I have a whole video on my channel already focusing on that specific topic. I'll link that in the video description below. If you want a more detailed explanation, you can go watch that after this one. But a basic rundown of how to find your best macronutrient split if you are just starting tracking macros. You want to start by calculating your calorie deficit. And the easiest way to do that to just get started is using an online calculator, which I will also link in the video description below. But what you're gonna do is find out your total daily energy expenditure, which is how many calories your body burns in a day approximately. And what you're gonna do to get your calorie deficit number is you're gonna subtract 200 to 500 calories from that number to get your starting daily calorie goal. Now with a 200 calorie deficit being a slight deficit and a 500 calorie deficit being a significantly higher calorie deficit. Now again, what you choose to be your calorie deficit is gonna be based on where you're starting, what your goals are, your time frame for these goals, and so many other factors. But I will say if your goal is to build muscle and drop body fat, you want to be eating either at maintenance calories or around in a 250 calorie deficit because you want to make sure you're eating enough to preserve your muscle mass and hopefully build a little bit more. So let's just say my total daily energy expenditure is 2,000 calories. So my maintenance calories would be 2,000 calories a day to maintain my body weight. And then we focus on macronutrient split in order to achieve our results. Now let's just say I want to go into a slight calorie deficit. So I'm going to subtract 200 from that 2,000 maintenance calorie number, which will give me around 1,800 calories a day. And let's just set that as my daily calorie goal. From there, this is where it can get confusing for many people, is anything you Google online is gonna say you should be eating 25% of your daily calories from protein, 30%, and then some are saying 40% of your daily calories from protein. Now, this is where individualization is very, very important, because again, what works for one person and one body type and one schedule is not gonna work for another person. This is where I like to say you need to meet yourself where it's at and make your recommendations and calculate your macros based on where you are on your journey. And here's how we're gonna do that. I just wanna take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Element, one of my go-tos for replenishing my electrolytes after sweaty workouts. Electrolytes are so important for so many functions in the body, including hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, and fluid balance. Sometimes water just isn't enough, and Element has the perfect balance of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And better yet, 0 artificial sweeteners, no sugar, so no junk. And for a limited time, the Element Chocolate Medley returns, featuring chocolate mint, chocolate chai, and chocolate raspberry. They're designed to be enjoyed hot. The chocolate medley is only available when the temps drop, so enjoy these tasty flavors while you can, on their own, in your coffee, or in your coziest recipes. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packets free with any Element order. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Michelle. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Michelle. So first thing you want to calculate is how much protein you should be eating each day. So I think a great range to shoot for if you are just getting started is 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of your current body weight, or 30 to 35% of your daily calorie goal. So now for you specifically, how are you going to choose? Should I be doing 0.7 grams per pound of body weight or 1 gram per pound of body weight? Or should I do 30% or should I do 35? Here's my best and simplest, easiest advice. If you're just starting your macronutrient tracking journey and you're just starting to learn about like which foods are higher in protein, and you actually are going from maybe currently you've been tracking for the last few days and you've been eating 60 grams of protein a day. Let's say for my example, I weigh 150 pounds. So let's say if I jumped from 60 grams of protein a day that I was getting, and Michelle said I should be getting 1 gram per pound of body weight. So tomorrow I have to jump from 60 grams of protein a day to 150 grams of protein a day and do that every single day in order to see my results. Sounds pretty overwhelming, right? Like, let's be honest. Seems like going from 0 to 100, where this is how when I'm working with my coaching clients is, let's meet you where you're at. So if you're currently getting 60 grams of protein a day, let's shoot more towards the lower end. So let's start with that 30% of your daily calories, or around 0.7, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So a great place to start is, okay, I'm just gonna try and get up to 105 grams of protein a day. And this is where this really becomes individualized, because I like to say, if you're getting 60 grams of protein now and you up your game to 105 grams of protein a day, you're still winning. You're doing better. You're really prioritizing your protein at that point, but you know what the big picture is, but you're just working your way up to that. Now that we have our protein goal, you're gonna set your number for healthy fat. You wanna get minimum 20 to 30% of your daily calories from good fats, just because good fats are really important for overall hormone health and just general health. So we're gonna set our fat limit at the top end there at 30% of our calories. So what we're gonna do is take our 1,800 calories divided by 30%. That gives us 540 calories. Fats are 9 calories per gram, so we're dividing that by 9. That gives us 60 grams of fat per day. And then all we're gonna do to get our carbs is we're gonna take the calories of protein and add that with the calories of fat. So we're gonna take 540 calories of protein plus 540 calories of fats. That gives us 1,080. And then our total calories are 1,800. We're gonna minus 1,080. That gives us 720 20 calories left. And remember, there are 4 calories per gram of carbs. So we're gonna divide that by 4, and that gives us 180 grams of carbs. Now again, that is the basic rundown, which I've showed also in a few other videos. And that would be your starting point. And just remember, everybody's gonna start at a different point, because some people are starting with a higher percentage of muscle mass, which means they're gonna need more protein to even preserve the muscle mass that they have. So now let's talk about when and how you should be adjusting your macros on your fat loss or body recomposition journey. Adjusting your macronutrient split along your journey is very, very important in refining your progress. Over time, your body's needs might change due to progress, adjusting activity levels, or plateaus in progress. Now let's go over 5 signs your body might be telling you that it's time to change your macros. 1. Weight loss plateau. If the scale hasn't budged for 3 to 4 weeks with consistent training and consistent nutrition, this could be an indicator that your calorie deficit has diminished due to weight loss and a change in your maintenance calories. Now, when I say 3 to 4 weeks of consistent, meaning you have been tracking your calories, tracking your macros, hitting your numbers consistently, day after day for 3 to 4 weeks, crushing your training, doing all the things, and you're not seeing any changes, this could be a weight loss plateau. If you want to know more about weight loss plateaus, of course I have a video already on my channel talking more in depth about weight loss plateaus. I'll link that video in the description below. But what would you do in this situation? My best recommendation is to start by just reducing your calories by about 5 to 10%. And typically you're gonna take those calories away from carbs or fats, but without dropping your fats to less than 20% of your daily calories, because again, we need those good fats for health reasons. So when it comes to a macronutrient perspective, you're not just gonna take away calories from anywhere, you are gonna specify where you're taking your calories away from. Another sign that it might be time to switch up your macros is decreased energy levels. Dieting for a really long time or not getting enough carbohydrates can leave you feeling really fatigued, especially if you're really active. What would I recommend in this situation is either increase your carbs a little bit and see how that works, or decrease your overall activity level. So what kind of changes should you make to your carbs? So if you're currently eating 25 or 30% carbs, you could increase from 30% to 35% of your daily calories coming from carbs, and then maybe again take some calories from your fats, not letting it drop below 20%, of course. Third reason it might be time to adjust your macros is a loss of lean muscle. So this is very common when people start a diet with the goal of just seeing that number go down on the scale, and they are doing all the cardio, they're still strength training, but not really focusing on getting the protein. They just care about eating less to see that number go down on the scale. There's a possibility that some of that loss on the scale is a result of a loss of lean muscle mass. So what you'll start to notice is a decrease in your overall strength level, as well as maybe like feeling a little bit softer. Things aren't as hard. Even though you're lighter on the scale, you might not feel as solid as maybe you used to. So what would we adjust in this situation? My best recommendation is trying to increase your daily protein intake. So you're either going to increase from 0.8 grams per pound of body weight up to 1 gram per pound of body weight, or you're gonna again play around with those percentages. And if you're at 30% of your daily calories coming from protein, maybe try getting 35% of your daily calories from protein, and to see if that helps you with your strength levels or preserve a little bit more lean muscle. Reason number 4, you might have to switch up your macros, is a change in your activity levels. So either starting a new exercise routine or decreasing a current exercise routine is gonna change your total daily energy expenditure, whether it's more calories burned or less calories burned. And in turn, overall in the big picture, that is gonna change what your calorie deficit is gonna look like, as well as what your macronutrient split should look like. So if you are increasing, maybe you're going from strength training twice a week to strength training 4 times a week with more serious lifts and compound lifts, and you're focusing on progressive overload. What I would do in that situation is increase your protein and increase your carbs to support the increase in overall activity. And if you're going the other way and you're exercising less, in that situation, you just want to decrease your overall calorie intake again, because that's going to change your total daily energy expenditure. If you are moving less, your body will be burning less calories, so your calorie deficit number is going to change, and in turn, your protein, your carbs, and your fats are also gonna change. And then lastly, the 5th reason why you might need to switch up your macros, feelings of constant hunger or binging. A constant feeling of hunger, even when you're hitting your calories, hitting your protein, hitting your macros, could be a sign that there's an imbalance in your macros. Maybe you're getting not enough fiber or not enough protein or not enough healthy fats. So what I would do first in this situation, before you start playing around with your macronutrient numbers and your calorie numbers, I would look at your overall quality of food. How much fiber are you getting a day? What are the quality of the carbs you're getting? Are you getting more high volume foods or higher glycemic, low volume carbohydrates? What type of protein are you getting? Are you getting most of your protein from whole foods? Are you relying mainly on supplements to hit your protein goal? All of these things are gonna make a difference, but if you are eating high volume foods, getting all your fiber, hitting your protein goal, eating enough calories, doing all the things, and you still feel this way, then it might just be your body telling you that you need more calories and maybe you need even more protein than you're eating. Make a small adjustment again, 5 to 10% more than what you're doing, and assess that as you go. Now let's look at 5 reasons why it might not be your calories or macros you need to change. What else could be going on that could be affecting your fat loss results? Number 1, inconsistent tracking. This is probably the most common one, whether it's underestimating portion sizes, not tracking every snack, not tracking sauces, not tracking coffee creamer, maybe not weighing your food and just starting to estimate big portions of meals. This could be why you're not seeing the results. It's not necessarily your calorie and your protein and your macro goals. It could be your tracking of these goals. Reason number 2 could be your sleep quality. Poor sleep is gonna disrupt hunger hormones. It's gonna increase your cravings. It's gonna decrease your energy levels in your workouts and your ability to push really hard. So if you are someone who's not getting consistently 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night, I know some of us don't have the choice, but if you have the ability to sleep and you're just choosing to stay up and scroll on your phone or watch Netflix all night and you're not prioritizing your sleep, then I would say get this dialed in before you start playing around with your macros. Number 3, stress and cortisol levels. So if you are in a state of chronic stress, whether it's due to life, work, and you're not managing these stress levels, an increase in cortisol levels can promote fat storage, especially in the abdominal area. Number 4, underestimating NEAT, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis. If you are going to the gym maybe 1 hour, 4 to 5 times a week, you're doing your strength training workouts, and you're feeling great, but you come home and you sit on a desk for 8 hours a day, and then you sit on the couch and you don't really do a lot of movement outside of that time in the gym, this could be affecting your fat loss results, because I always say a little bit of movement goes a long way. If you are someone like that example, and maybe you're only getting 2,000 or 3,000 steps a day, before you start messing around with your calories and your macros, I would say try and increase your daily movement. Again, you don't have to go from 2,000 steps to 10,000 steps a day. Maybe try and go from 2,000 to 5,000 steps a day. Number 5, unrealistic expectations. I know the world we live in today and social media has us setting unrealistic expectations for ourselves. This is where you are expecting massive results in a small amount of time, which is not realistic. Now, I know social media and the world we live in today plays a huge role in this, but you have to remember, if you are on a body recomposition journey where you're looking to increase lean muscle and decrease body fat to change the shape and the look of your body, this is gonna take time. And oftentimes the problem is you don't get that instant gratification like you do if you're on a weight loss journey, where I'm just gonna eat less, move more, and wait to see that number on the scale go down, and you get that instant gratification. When you are actually putting in the work to calculate your macros and track and do your strength training workouts and apply the progressive overload and hit your 10K steps and get your sleep and do all the things, I understand it's hard and you want to see the results quick, but you need to make sure you're setting realistic expectations for yourself. So if you're on week 3 or week 4 of your body recomposition journey and you're frustrated that you're not seeing the results that you want, do not start playing around with your macros. Do not start playing around with your calories. I promise you, you are probably on the right track. You just need to keep going. I actually have a whole video on my channel where I talk about how long fat loss actually takes, and I give an example of my body recomposition journey after having both of my kids and how long it took for me to get lean. So if you want to watch that and you want to know more about how to set realistic expectations for yourself, I'll link that video in the description below. So there you go, guys. As always, I hope this video was helpful. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. If you need help with your nutrition or your workouts, I'll put a link in the video description below to learn more about working with me one-on-one in my online fitness and nutrition coaching program. And as always, give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and I will see you guys next week.